Welcome back. Just two dudes sitting on a couch.
Right.
That's what this is. Travel is picking up, and as a result, it ain't cheap anymore. But luckily, our next guest has a few tricks up his sleeve to make it a little bit more budget friendly. Please welcome back to the show, the Thrifty Traveler, everyone. It's our good friend Jared.
Good to be back, Jason.
Good to have you. It is more expensive.
It is indeed more expensive.
I remember back in our pandemic days, every segment with you was like, oh, if you want to go to Europe, you can do it for $20.
It was shooting fish in a barrel. That's how we would describe it. It was wild. And now everybody's like, I can't even afford to travel.
Yeah. All kidding aside, domestic airfare is way up. What are we talking?
Through the roof. I mean, we're talking, you used to be able to find flight deals for like $100 like Chicago. Now it's like $300 or $400. And, it's like that across a lot of the country.
Did you say this to Chicago is that much?
I'm afraid so. Like peak summer, like this, if we're talking like June, July, August, yeah, we're seeing some pretty ugly fares. There are some always. We're always finding flight deals, but there's just, simply fewer of them.
And it's bad. Chicago is a decent barometer for us because I call Chicago you go up, you eat a peanut, and you land. So if that flight is expensive, to me, that's like a sundial. I'm like, oh, if that's bad, that doesn't
bode well.
The rest for other. Okay, there are ways though. You mentioned what are some ways, general ways that folks watching can save?
So we really just need to go back to the fundamentals of like how to save on flights. And this hasn't changed for years.
Yeah.
So first off, the big thing is trying to be flexible when you travel. So instead of trying to go somewhere this summer, if you can, go in September, October, and November, which is kind of what we call the shoulder seasons, or even in the winter, that flexibility will allow you to save, 50 to 75% on flights.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Because right now it's too late. Like May, we're now into the spring summer period, right? It's not going to be cheap in May. It's not going to be until September.
This is the summer of domestic travel. Everybody has places that they've wanted to go for the last couple of years, and domestic travel is completely unrestricted right now. Masks aren't even required. International travel is still more complicated, but everyone's focusing on domestic travel.
I know that you helped our buddy Jeff with this, and this seems like a basic tip, but it's a good reminder to use points and use them during high pay or high cost periods. Right there's your headline from your site. Stop waiting. Why now is the time to use your points and miles? Why specifically, and how does this work?
Exactly. So a lot of times points and miles don't shift in cost depending on how much the cash flight is.
Okay.
Sometimes they do, but like especially if you want to go to Europe, like right now, or let's say you want to go to Iceland. So like Minneapolis to Iceland right now this summer, middle of the summer, you can go for 44,000 Sky Miles. That ticket is about $600. So using your Sky Miles, because that flight is expensive, can save you a lot. And I mean, if you're using your miles, you're not using any cash.
No.
So it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, or if you have, I do tricks that I've learned from Jared. I use the combo plate. I use some of my credit card my credit card points. I'm like, okay, where can I use these now because I use one card all year. I get those points up, and then I use it for our travel. And I use it when I know it's going to be expensive, like right now.
That's the key.
Yep, that's the key. How to get an easy $2,500 Delta Sky Miles, and you can try to get this at baggage claim. What do you mean?
So if you're flying Delta, and this isn't new, this has been around for years, but as soon as that boarding door opens, like you've arrived at your destination, you're flying Delta, you have a checked bag, if there is more than 20 minutes between when that boarding door opens and when your checked bag arrives at the carousel, you can get 2,500 Sky Miles. It's that simple. And you just go on to Delta's website, they have a baggage guarantee of 20 minutes or less. If it's 21 minutes, you can get 2,500 Sky Miles. And quite frequently, it is more than 20 minutes.
So the minute flight attendant Rita cracks that door open, turn on your timer all joking aside, on your phone, and if it's, I like that.
And it's super easy, and a lot of times when you submit the simple, super easy form on Delta's website, you'll get the points immediately, which is pretty sweet.
One little fun thing, because we have deals coming up, don't turn around. I said on the show, have you been to MSP in baggage claim since they instituted the loon noises when your luggage comes down?
I haven't. It's beautiful down there, but I didn't notice the loon noises.
I'm giving Thrifty Traveler. Are you guys hearing this? I'm giving Thrifty Traveler a little, now, at the remodeled baggage carousels, You know, it used to be the no. In Minnesota, we just couldn't do that. Freaking loons go off.
It's a loon call?
And they start going, there's nothing, if you're bored, like let's say your baggage is late, watch the travelers from around the country that aren't from here freak out because they're thinking they're being attacked. They're thinking birds are in the airport. It is the funniest thing ever. Yeah.
I love it. We have a wonderful airport.
We do.
It's getting better. I definitely look forward to hearing this.
I can't wait for that video on Thrifty Traveler. Like I said, every time Jared is here, we're going to talk about deals. Plus, why this year is a big year for Jared, not just the baby. You'll see why in just a second. Back in a moment. Oh, it's loon noises. Welcome back. Thrifty Traveler is here. Okay, we're going to get to deals in just a second, but I mentioned in the break that this is a fun year. Is this really your 7th anniversary?
Yeah, we're getting old, Jason.
We are. Oh, yeah, believe me. Believe me. 7 years of Thrifty Traveler.
And 5 years on the Jason Show.
Okay, do we have, I think we have, okay, because I want to talk about your anniversary, but Ted and Jeff combed through our vast archive, and we have your very first appearance when you were maybe 14. Look.
I definitely was 14.
What should people be keeping an eye, like what's the trendy place that millennials can put their hammocks up in?
Well, if you're talking about here in the U.S., I mean, the hammock capital probably is going to be Austin, Texas. Maybe Portland, somewhere in the Northwest.
Yeah. Austin's so big. Their food scene, their music scene.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I love Austin.
And what else? What other
the
places?
Pacific Northwest.
Okay.
I mean, Seattle, Portland. If you want to talk about international destinations, Lisbon, Portugal is actually one of the. It's the next Iceland. That's what everybody's saying.
It's the new Iceland, everybody. You heard it from Jared. It's the new Iceland. Jared only had 4 minutes to do that segment because he had to get back to third quarter class. He had to get to his third period class.
They let me out. I got a hall pass for that.
You had to go back to class after that.
Terrified.
Really?
Terror. Oh, yeah, for sure. I was like the kid who almost passed out in public speaking class.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I would never have known it. Let me just ask you, 7 years, because I do want to get to tips. What made you want to start? There had to be a kernel. What was the kernel that made you want to start Thrifty Traveler? I don't think I've ever asked you that.
No. So when I used to plan trips for my wife and I, it was like the most exciting thing that I did. This sounds ridiculous. But then I would go back to work and I'd like look around and be like, what am I doing here? And I was like, I have to turn the thing that I love into something that can make money.
Because do you mind if I ask, what were you doing before?
I was a bank examiner. I was a CPA, worked in banking.
Oh, God, I'm falling asleep.
I worked in a cubicle.
Oh, Jared.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It paid well.
Yeah. But
let's be honest.
It's not the most thrilling.
No.
Yeah, no offense to accountant. We all need you.
No, yes.
But I'm just saying, it's
great profession.
Wonderful. We need you. I'm just saying. Yeah. Now, so you started out with just you, right? You were the only employee?
Grinding out for 3 years.
And then how many do you have now?
We have 10 employees. Yeah.
Look at that. Thank you, Jeff. We're waiting on the... We're getting used to not having to have the fake applause. Let's practice. Kendall, can you clap for us? Thank you. That's wonderful. Okay, Friday, you guys in honor of the anniversary, what does this say? You're going to release the top 7 flight deals ever.
Yeah, so like the best flight deals we've ever found in the last 7 years, which we had to like distill or condense all. Like we find 3 to 4 flight deals we email to our Thrifty Traveler Premium subscribers every single day. So our whole team's like racking their brains, what are the best fares?
I think my friend Lisa LaCourcier and Jen did one of those deals.
Yes.
I think
if not a couple of them.
One of them was Spain, and I think they went for like $1.50. It was something like that.
We found some flights to South America for like $62 on Delta. Like crazy stuff.
Okay.
And sub $300 to Europe, which normally those are, as much as $1,000 or more.
So Friday you'll release those.
Yeah. Actually, It's on our website right now.
Got it. Okay, let's do some current deals. What do we have?
So, we talked about flights being just so expensive right now, but there are some cheap destinations here in the U.S. as well as abroad. So, Orlando. So, these are all nonstop round trip on Delta from MSP. Orlando, $167 from July through January.
Oh, that's good news for me.
Yeah, it is. So Chicago, if you go towards the end of the summer in August, $177.
Okay.
New York City, this is one that's been really cheap, and this is including August, which is still summer, $169.
Oh, that's good for New
So
York.
New York's been really popular right now, which is great. This is into the fall and winter. Cancun, again, nonstop round trip, $344. This is about half price. San Juan, also $343 this fall. And then Iceland, which has been one of the nice cheap places, $493 all summer long. So again, if you want to book these, use Google Flights. That's the #1 tool everybody needs to use, or just go to thriftytraveler.com.
And we do, and we will forever. Congratulations, my friend.
Thanks for having me on all these years.
Oh, please, it's our pleasure. And I just, looking at you back then, we had to get you back to social studies. For more information, go to thriftytraveler.com. We're going to take a break. I have a best thing ever that I'm really, really excited to share with you. You'll find out what it is when we come back. Back in a moment. 7 years. I think it was actually during our national launch summer.